Some days it seems like everything and everyone is against you.
Probably because this whole universe is against me.
On those days, it can be a struggle to find anything to make you smile. So why not turn to the wondrous world of video games? Hello all, it's the Dove here to give you 10 games to play when you're having a horrible day. Let's start with Call of Duty. Any variety will do, but let's start with Warzone since it's free. I know a lot of people are going to say, hey, this might actually have the opposite effect of what you're talking about, but hear me out. Call of Duty, in its essence, is a great first-person shooter, especially online, like Warzone. And that's not to say that the solo campaigns are anything to scoff at. But outside of all the lobby trolls and other morons that are yelling for no reason, or just saying horrible things, getting a little bit of our violence out can actually be therapeutic. A few studies showed that elevated aggression in teenagers after playing violent video games is negligible. Older demographics have even less aggressive behaviors, but most studies note that the aggression expressed is rarely physical and is inherently aggressive speech and thoughts. The little research that is out there suggests that playing games reduces overall stress, just less so with the violent games. Co-op or team games actually rank among the most effective at relieving stress, when playing with the right teammates. And I'd also argue that a lot of the fun of Call of Duty is just the art of being able to shoot a moving target while you yourself are moving and essentially a target. Yes, in essence you're shooting someone with a gun, but there is a lot more to it than that, and I think that's why there is such a huge global appeal to the game. Like I said, I recommend playing this game with mute on pretty much everyone, but it still can help you get rid of some of those daytime blues after just a few matches. Find a group of solid teammates and play with those who keep you in a good mood. Call of Duty Warzone is free to play and available on the PlayStations, Xboxes, and PC. Do you have people constantly in your face asking you where, when, or how much something is? Does it feel like you are basically a kindergarten teacher to grown-ass adults who often act like children if they have to wait or don't get exactly what they want? Well, if you answered yes, then you need to get the hell away from people. And Pacific Drive can help you with that. This roguelike is like no other. Pacific Drive adds driving simulator and survival mechanics to the genre. It is a hell of a twist and is set in a Bermuda Triangle style area in the Pacific Northwest, where your character gets transported to by accident at the start of the game. While you will never see human NPCs, you will get to listen to a few characters over the radio. And while you are trying to get away, the acting, story, and subtle humor just helps immerse you in the beautiful but dangerous world of Pacific Drive.
And be careful. Oppie's not in her right mind, okay? So, watch yourself.
Your car and its setup are vital to the success of your runs. Tough tires or wind turbines can help charge your sci-fi station wagon through the truly testing territory. Pop a tire and your car tilts in that direction and drastically hurts your ability to accelerate and slow down. Have a door fall off and experience the first-hand effects of the area's intense radiation that accompanies the many storms coming your way. Little things like losing your windshield wiper or lights can quickly bring a run to a halt. The more you drive, the more you can develop quirks, which can range from slightly annoying, like every time you slam the gas your radio turns on, to the truly annoying where your battery just drains for no reason that you can find. There is a lot to take your mind off of customers demanding you kiss their ass because they paid $4.99 at your store. From the gorgeous sci-fi setting to the deep list of indie tracks on the radio, this is a game that can whisk you away. Pacific Drive is available on PlayStation 5 and PC. Feeling a bit helpless at work after your D-bag of a boss dumped even more of their assignments onto you? Then take charge back in your life as you play the scenic landscapes of Japan in Sucker Punch's Ghosts of Tsushima. This astounding game, both mechanically and visually, is one that will help you get out that inner rage. You can save some innocent farmers from brutal invaders fully given that swift power fantasy, or you can just stop and look at some of the most beautiful landscapes video games have to offer. I personally was late to the party on this game, thinking it was a cheap knockoff of Assassin's Creed. I was dead wrong. Whatever this game may lack in parkour mechanics, it makes up for in combat, story, acting, and open world gameplay that feels more like actual exploring rather than activating checkpoints that show more of the map. The action is swift and deadly at times, and once you unlock more and more abilities, the bigger fight scenes with waves of enemies makes you feel like the ultimate samurai badass. Well, that samurai part is up for debate. Anyhow, if you just want to calm your nerves, ride around the island and look for that perfect sunset, or find one of the many meditation points and let the wonderful setting and sound effects relax every muscle in your body, then Ghost of Tsushima is for you. Ghost of Tsushima is available on PlayStation 4 and 5 and now PC. Many of the jobs I had throughout my life had me working under the constant hum of fluorescent lights. They are cost effective to the company, but the cost to the actual worker is generally a gigantic headache that never ends. So why not travel to the time of yore, when the only light source you worked under was the sun? Maybe a moon. Regardless, Manor Lords has you covered. This city builder is set in the 14th century Bavarian region and has all the scenery and beauty you would expect from such a time period. Take control of your city as you start from a small group of settlers in a randomized setting. Start a lodging compound, tend to your lands, forage for food, build up your livestock, or Jefferson's favorite, start a brewery. Manor Lords does have a bit of a learning curve. Learning some of the basics might take a little research as the game is still in early access and doesn't have that intro nailed. But for seasoned city building gamers, the ins and outs won't take too long to figure out. And once you get into the swing of things, the game just melts your headaches or troubles away. Yeah, you have to defend your city from raiders and other regions, but the main focus of this game is the city building. Making sure you have a thriving economy and your townspeople have full pantries will help your town grow. But while you figure all that out, let all the stress go by the wayside as you build. Check out Manor Lords, available on PC and Xbox. Are you feeling like you're in a constant state of looking for, applying to, and getting turned down from job after job? Well, I sure was for a long time. And I recommend Hades for those stuck in that cycle. This is a perfectly crafted game with well-balanced abilities and stat boosts, or boons in the case of Hades. The combat seems simple at first with just a handful of moves to pull off, but with the aforementioned boons and abilities, it makes for very interesting and random setups that make each playthrough different. The randomly shifting levels keep players on their toes in each run-through, and the character development and story keeps them coming back for more and more. Beating the game or escaping is just the beginning. More of the story is revealed with each playthrough. You won't get the complete picture until 10 full escapes, so good luck. Hades, or roguelikes in general, are a metaphor for the vicious cycle of applying for jobs. Rarely do you come through with a job that you really want, but every time that you go through the process, you learn a little something that you can apply the next time you're in the same position. Hades is one of the best in that regard. Each playthrough, you will learn something or improve Zagreus' stats enough to make your escape next time. This game has some beautiful art and animations, along with an ear-pleasing soundtrack. It is easy to forget any of your worries while you and your god family try to escape the underworld. Check out Hades on Xboxes, PlayStations, Switch, PC, and Mac. Do you constantly hear people telling you, or rather demanding you take care of everything they need from morning to night? Chances are you either work in retail or are a parent, or both. No Man's Sky is my recommendation for those who need to absolutely get away and set their brains to cruise control. No Man's Sky is one of the best exploration games I think I have ever played. The actual explorable universe at your fingertips has planets in the goddamn quintillions, man. You could explore this game your entire lifetime and never visit a planet twice if you didn't want to. But besides the incredible mathematics behind the game, it really is all about relaxing. Most planets that you go to have little to no life. You can stop by the local space station if you want to interact with some intelligent life, but most planets that you go to have little to no life, and what life there is does not have a grasp on language. So you are exploring world after world in absolute peace. Nothing but the sound of nature. Albeit the nature of a random planet, but that in and of itself can calm most people on some very trying days. The planets are procedurally generated and completely random, which makes for endless exploration and a great way to relax. Sometimes I find myself just flying from system to system, and when I feel like it, attack the local asteroid belt to pocket some supplies and maybe some cash. Random occurrences happen all the time, and frankly, if you're just playing the main storyline, it's difficult to really know what the hell's actually going on. If you need to get away mentally but can't physically, jump in your spaceship and blast off to any star system your heart desires. No Man's Sky is available on the PlayStations, Xboxes, Nintendo Switch, PC, and Mac. This next game is a little personal for me, as it helped me through some of the darkest days of my life. Death Stranding has the main protagonist, Sam Porter Bridges, played by actor Norman Reedus, trek his way through a desolate post-apocalyptic Earth. His main goal is connecting people and communities he comes across with a faster than the speed of light internet access, and he also delivers packages along the way. All while a little fetus is strapped to his chest to help him sense danger. Some deem Death Stranding a walking simulator early on, but this game is a lot more. Yes, you do have to focus on your character's balance as he goes from point to point, but there is a lot more going on. You can also build up your infrastructure to make things easier your next run, and if you play online, you get to share and use random buildings, objects, and roads other players who are playing Death Stranding created. It is a lot to take in at once, and the gameplay does a great job of introducing the several mechanics throughout your journey. The world Kojima Productions created is stunning, albeit filled with sci-fi ghosts, and when you aren't avoiding crazed package pirates or rain that ages you instantly, you get to walk across a most peaceful landscape. There are a lot of different ways to get the job done. Walking, driving ATVs, trucks, taking zip lines that feel more like getting shot out of a gun, and each time you finish a delivery or mission, you can make the path easier for your next journey. It all happens in a surreal sci-fi hellscape that was meticulously crafted by Hideo Kojima. So when you aren't walking to and from your location, getting your zen time, you can get lost in a mind-bending story that can make you forget most of your troubles. If you haven't had a chance to play Death Stranding and need a little you time, it is out on PlayStation 4, 5, PC, and Mac. One of the best games to help you forget the day-to-day grind is Tetris Effects. When you just need to turn your brain off, Tetris Effects is there for you. The game is a visual and audio masterpiece. It takes the original puzzle game loved by many and adds brilliant effects and backgrounds to each level, all the while each move you make adds to the soundtrack. You are not only solving a free-flowing, always changing puzzle, but you are also making some ambient music as well. Tetris by itself could peel away the daily blues, but the addition of the visual and audio effects makes this version of Tetris one of the all-time best. There's single-player mode, online multiplayer mode, local multiplayers, both competitive and co-op. There is even a mode titled Relax Mode, just to help you get in the right mind space. Regardless of the mode you play, Tetris Effects can help relax the most frustrated of people. With the simplistic design of each piece and the randomness of each run, you just have to figure things out on the fly and play the pieces you're dealt. And that kind of repetitive problem solving helps clear your mind of the many day-to-day annoyances that clutter your mind. Tetris has been around since the NES, but Tetris Effects really brings the old game to a whole new level. If you are feeling stressed, try some Tetris Effects. It's available on PlayStations, Xboxes, Switch, and PC. Most people in the world live in cities, and living there has inherent stressors, so being able to get away from the rush hour traffic and the daily grind is something most of us need. Red Dead Redemption 2 has some of the most breathtaking settings in video games, even though the game is still running on last generation consoles now in 2024. The gameplay is some of the best, and there is so much you can do in the main game or in the online mode. Whether you want to relieve some stress doing some old-fashioned train heists, or you want to get away from the hubbub and do some fishing, Red Dead has a huge open world that you can get lost in. The story mode is award-winning for a reason. It is deep and thought-provoking while at the same time just a lot of fun. You get to be the cowboy of your dreams, whether you want to be the outlaw that no one likes or the sweet old gunslinger that has to bend the occasional law to get by. The choice is yours. And although Rockstar abandoned updating the online version of the game, it is still active with a laundry list of activities and plenty of full lobbies. The fishing and hunting aspects of Red Dead can showcase some of the absolutely most gorgeous landscapes you can find, and it's one of the best places in video games to relax. Wake up a little early, make a cup of joe, and go fishing with Arthur or your online character, and forget the rat race for a while. Unfortunately, there are no next-gen updates for RDR2, but it's available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Are you working in a repetitive 9-to-5 job for a soulless corporation? Do you long for the simpler life? Well, there is no better game than Stardew Valley. This simple-looking farming simulator is way deeper than it looks on the surface, and with multiple avenues of focus, there is a lot of replayability. Farm the lands, fish your day away, build relationships with the townspeople, mine caves, or just pet your animals. I'm not even scratching the surface on the activities and immersive mechanics in Stardew. The obvious Zen experience is just the daily routine of taking care of your farm. Regardless of which way you farm, Stardew Valley has a well thought out and balanced game to keep you coming back for more. And the love this game gets from developer Concerned Ape is nothing short of spectacular. Updates are still coming in 8 years later from the one-person studio, and there has never been one paid DLC in its history. Studies finding that gaming can reduce stress actually used Stardew Valley as the video game its test subjects played. It's not a stretch to say that if you need to unwind or relax while you play games, Stardew Valley is among the best you can switch on. You just forget everything else in the world and are left trying to figure out how you're going to get the maximum yield from this year's crops. This is a great family game, and it has co-op available. It's really great for all types of ages in any kind of stress level, and is a Dove household staple on all consoles. Stardew Valley available on PlayStations, Xboxes, Switch, PC, and Mac. Folks, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like more content like this. For even more content, go to twohatsandabeard.com or check out our YouTube page. Until next time, this is the Dove.